Imagine you and 9 other people have been captured by a highly intelligent alien civilization. These overlords consider humans a delicacy, but their laws prohibit them from eating logical, cooperative organisms. To determine if you qualify for protection, they put you through a test. You are all placed in a single file line, arranged by height, and forced to face straight ahead. This diagram illustrates the assignment. A guard places either a black or a white hat on each of your heads, completely at random. The rules permit no deviation. You cannot look behind you, nor step out of line. Starting from the tallest person at the back and moving forward, each of you must guess the color of your own hat by saying exactly one word, black or white. This rigid environment isolates every captive. Because traditional signaling is forbidden, the survival of the group depends on individuals making decisions without seeing their own variables. The aliens offer a narrow margin for error. To survive, at least 9 of the 10 people in line must guess their hat color correctly. The person at the very back faces an immediate problem. They can clearly see the 9 hats ahead of them, but they have zero data regarding the hats sitting on their own head. This physical setup creates a significant data bottleneck. That final person must process the visual identities of 9 variables and compress that entire set into a single binary word. Probability and visual patterns offer no safety here. Survival requires a mathematical loophole, a way to smuggle complex data through a one-word constraint. When you only have 2 possible verbal outputs, you need a mathematical property that also only has 2 possible states. That property is parity, the measure of whether a specific number is odd or even. Here in this side profile diagram, we can see the logic code the group agrees on during their brief planning phase. The tallest person at the back, prisoner 1, ignores the white hats entirely and focuses strictly on counting the black ones. Notice the 3 highlighted black hats in front of prisoner 1. The code is simple. Odd means black, even means white. By following this rule, prisoner 1 makes a blind guess about their own hat, giving them a 50% chance of being eaten. They are sacrificing their own safety to encode the starting state of the entire line. By accepting this initial sacrifice, the group establishes a baseline of verifiable data. Everyone else ahead of them now has a fixed reference point to measure against. Let's watch this diagram play out. Prisoner 1 says black. This transmits the baseline data forward, an odd number of black hats ahead. Prisoner 2 scans and counts exactly 3 black hats in front of them. Prisoner 2 compares the data. Since they still see an odd number of black hats, they deduce their hat isn't black. They say white, guessing correctly. Shifting to prisoner 3, they count the black hats ahead, seeing only 2, an even number. The expected parity was odd, but the visual reality is even. Prisoner 3 knows with mathematical certainty that their own hat accounts for that missing black hat. They say black, surviving their turn. This chain reaction guarantees survival for the remaining captives. Each person takes the accumulated data passed from behind, compares it against the hats they see in front, and deduces their own hidden identity. The mechanics of the cascade rely on a single logic gate. Every time a black hat is identified and spoken aloud, the expected parity for the rest of the line must flip. In this diagram of the remaining prisoners, you can see the update in action. If someone calls out a white hat, the parity stays the same. But when someone calls out a black hat, the expected parity toggles from odd to even, or vice versa. By the time the logic cascade reaches prisoner 10 at the very front, they have no need for visual information. They simply use the final parity state that has accumulated behind them to deduce their own hat color. That initial binary choice at the back of the line functions as the starting bit of a dynamic algorithm. It evolves with every spoken word, adapting as information flows through the network. The algorithm executes flawlessly. At least 9 captives survive the test, and the logical alien overlords are forced to go hungry. This survival strategy mirrors a foundational concept in computer science known as parity bits. Computers use this exact odd and even logic. When transmitting binary data, a parity bit flips based on the sum to detect errors. The prisoners function identically to these network nodes, transmitting ones or zeros to ensure exact data integrity. When extreme limitations remove the ability to communicate, a shared logical system provides the solution. It allows a group to compress a complex environment into a single functional code.